It does technically thread itself. Hi everyone, I'm Angelina, and this is Blueprint DIY, where we remake our clothes to be just as unique as us. Today, I am super excited to be sharing with you guys 2 air threader sergers. Yes, what does air threader mean? Air threader means that they thread themselves, and we're gonna see exactly how that's possible and how they sew on different materials. Do they stand up under the layers test, and can they go from one type of fabric to another type of fabric without too much adjusting? And are they worth the price? So let's do it. All right, so let's talk about the Brother AirFlow 3000 first. This one comes in at $1299.99 or $1,300. It has manual tension. It does have, just like the Brother 1034D, I'll let you know that I do use a Brother 1034D, or have used a Brother 1034D for a very, very long time. So just like what I love about the Brother 1034D, it has the color-coded numbers and arrows in the front to show you how to thread it. Now, the great thing about an AirFlow threader is that you're not going to need to thread it in a specific order. You can thread it in whatever order you want. And the reason that's great is because when your thread breaks or something happens, you don't have to go back and thread all of the threads, all 4 threads or 3 threads, however many you're using, in order to rethread it. You just thread whatever went wrong. And so I love that about air threaders. This one does have a light in the front to let you know when the foot is up, so therefore you should not sew, or if there's an error with the machine. It has a needle threader at the top and a thread cutter on the side. A good majority of sergers do not have thread cutters on the side, so that's absolutely amazing. The dials for the type of stitch that you want to use, as well as stitch length and stitch width, are on the side, and the presser foot lever is on the right hand side as well. I'm used to having on my serger the presser foot lever on the side, so that's kind of like innate in me, so I'm having a little trouble converting, but it's just, you know, this is different than a normal sewing machine. So if you've never had a serger, you will have to get used to this. It does have a cut thread holder in the front, as well as a little knob right here that is going to allow you to lift or lower your knife edge. And the knife edge just cuts off the excess fabric on the side. Now let's open this baby up. In order to do that, you just take the holder, the thread holder off. There's a little knob right here. Pull forward, and then you can see the thread for the upper and lower loopers are going through here. And then it also has a second door, which I don't know if all air threaders are like these, but both of the ones that I'm reviewing today are like this. They have a double door, a small door that covers all of the needle and the compartments right there. I do have a whole tutorial showing you how to thread this one, and I will say that I do have a video of me unboxing these and just trying to thread them for the first time. I did not read the instructions. I don't read instructions before I try a sewing machine because I want to see how intuitive it is, and because of this little thing in here, this is not going to be exactly like the serger that you've always used. So if you've been using a serger and you just think it's going to be the same other than this part, it's not. There's one little step in there that you need to know, and if you watch that video, it'll show you that you need to know that it's very important, and it will keep you from being frustrated. This sewing machine is really easy to thread, and it does thread through air here, as well as it has the threader, the needle threader here. So for all intents and purposes, it does technically thread itself, although you're putting the thread in the compartments, but you no longer have to put thread through needle holes or figure out how to thread that lower looper, which is an absolute pain for most sergers. So, and another amazing feature of this one is that it does come with 4 feet. Yes, 4 feet. It comes with a gathering foot, a blind stitch foot, an adjustable zipper foot, and a piping foot. I'm so excited to try the piping foot because I've lately been doing a lot of piping. That would be cool to have, so I'm excited about that. It also comes with this little case to keep all of your accessories in, which is where the feet are. They also have thread spools so that you could put like lower threads on there, and then it has the screwdriver to change your needles because it is specific to the Brother machine. You can't just use any screwdriver. The nets for your spools. It does come with extra needles, so that was great, and it has tweezers, which I love having tweezers to thread sergers. All right, so next up, let's talk about the BabyLock Victory. This machine, so I've been told it was the machine that started air threading. So if you want a technology that has been tested for many years and is still standing, then that's what the BabyLock Victory is. Now, in sewing machines, Brother and BabyLock are pretty much the same machines. But BabyLock does make their own sergers and Brother makes their own sergers. So you can't compare their sergers like they're the same thing because they're not. So with this serger, you're still gonna get that air threading, but the amazing thing about this one is its automatic tension. If you know, you know. Automatic tension is big on any sewing machine, but especially on a serger. If you look back when I talked about the Brother, the manual tension, you have those 4 dials. Imagine trying to get all 4 of those dials just right to get just the right stitch. It can be, not always, because once you get it set, normally I just leave it, but it can be a nightmare once it gets off. And so this one has automatic tension. That for me is big. Big. That's a big time thing. And so you can see that the threads are kind of come to the corner a little bit. This one is definitely going to be a lot smaller. I think they're about the same weight, but this one is in a more compact package. You can choose your different stitches. You could do rolled hem and different other type of stitches. And then you have your other dials over here to choose stitch width, stitch length, and the type of stitch. All right, so let's open this baby up. Once again, you're gonna have a little knob here. You pull that out to the front. You'll see instructions here on how to thread it. This one has almost like a pump action that pulls the air and brings it to the other side. So this one is more of a manual machine. You will have kind of like a computerized air function on the Brother, and this one is more manual. So, and I'll tell you the difference between those, or what I feel is the difference between those when we get to the end, when I share which one I prefer. This one also has a needle threader here. We'll thread the left and right needle. And once again, you can thread it in any order. So if any of your thread breaks, you can, and I have tried it, if any of your thread breaks, you can just pay attention to that thread and just keep it moving. So that definitely helps, because having to stop and rethread a whole serger is a pain. So yes, that is what you're paying for. Here's what comes with it. You get a whole host of these spool holders. These are the bottom spool holders. And then this is going to be with the sponge, and then the top spool holder. Then you have a very nice screwdriver. Then you have the cover for the machine. Then you have a hex nut. And then you have your thread nets. These are for spools. They're very long. So I'm assuming they're expecting you to have some really tall spools on there, which is lovely. And then a little baggie to hold them all. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a thing. We do monthly sewing machine reviews here, and I'm super excited for what we have next. I actually don't even know what it is yet. I have to see what I want to try next, but let me know in the comments. And we do a ton of upcycling here, and we're in the middle of our Next Top Upcycler challenge. So check the description box for more details about that, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. All right, back to the video. So let's see what these babies can do. Today, I'm going to be testing these on a number of different fabrics. I like to test it on something thin so that you can tell whether it can transition from a thin to a thick fabric, what the stitches look like on a thin fabric. I'm also going to use some jersey fabric, sweatpants, sweatshirt fabric, in order to see whether the stitches stay stretchy, which that's what a serger does. And also everybody's favorite, denim. I serged a ton of denim. Saw me last week sewing that maxi skirt on the BabyLock Victory. So yeah, we saw a ton of denim. So we are going to do a layer test to see how many layers they can take. So I just want to make a quick observation before we start sewing. The Brother, the light is, you know, bright enough, but it's not nearly as bright as the BabyLock Victory. So if you care about stuff like that, then maybe, you know, it makes a difference. So let's compare our fabrics. I use a nice bright color this time so you guys can see it. This is the Brother, this is the BabyLock. The BabyLock Victory stitches, hands down, win. Like, look at the quality of this stitch, and the control on it on this very thin fabric was like, something I've never experienced. I was very excited about that. I could almost take my hand off the fabric and it was just gliding through there just really nice and straight. So I really enjoyed that. The stitch on the brother is not bad, not bad at all. What is annoying to me on the brother is that little notch thing on the back of the stitch. It feels like maybe one of the tensions might be off. I'm not gonna mess with it because I don't want to be here forever trying to fix it, but that is what I was talking about the tension things. I did not put the foot down. So pretty. So pretty, pretty, pretty. First off, I absolutely love the stitches of the BabyLock Victory. However, the brother having that thing to tell me that the foot is up, definitely helpful because you saw me not put the foot down. And also it was hard for me because the foot is on this side. Now I know my regular sewing machine foot is there too, but I use a knee lift now. So just disregard me if you're not like me. If you're always used to doing that with your sewing machine, then that will not bother you. It does bother me just because I'm used to using my right hand, and I like that because I can use my left hand for fabric and right hand for presser foot. There is a serger with a knee lift. That's another video. Hopefully I can get my hands on that. But until then, I do like that. So I ended up putting my hand over the top, my right hand over the top in order to maneuver that. So that was a little bit of a learning curve for me. And it is an annoying thing for me right now because it is a learning curve. But like I said, that's not going to affect everybody. Let's talk about the jersey fabric. They both are taking the layers. The brother feels like it lifts higher. You can just get more fabric under there intentionally. Maybe the BabyLock is trying to tell you not to be like me and put too many layers under there because that can cause problems, but that's what I need to do. So I need the layers. And speaking of layers, let's talk about the denim. All right, so let's talk about this. Both of them sewed through 8 layers of denim, and I was kind of standing out the way because I did not change the needles. Typically, if it were my sewing machine, I would go ahead and put a number 16 needle in there in order to go through denim, just to make sure it didn't break and pop and hit me in the eye. But I did go through both of them with the needles that came in them. I think they have like a number maybe 12 or 14 needle in them, and it went ahead and went through 8 layers of denim. The Victory was a lot better of a stitch, but they both did it, and that made me very happy. And like I said, it felt like the brother just was accepting the thickness better. This one did go through. I was able to manually use my hand and lift the foot and put it under there, and it did it. It's like nice and compact and cut really well, so I like that. But 8 layers of denim on a serger is nice. So that's it. Let's talk about the features that I prefer and which one I'm thinking about keeping, as well as who I think these are for. First off, let's talk about the actual seam. I actually prefer the BabyLock Victory as far as the seams. The seams are very professional, very consistent. So I would have to go with that one. And because they're not that far away in price, you know, you're paying for the air threader. But for me, if I'm going to go above $1,000 for these type of machines, I want it to have automatic tension. I'm not paying that much to have to fool with the tension to get the stitch exactly the way I want it. So I think for me, that puts it over the top, because who wants to deal with tension? Like, nobody wants to deal with tension. Although I do absolutely prefer the way the brother threads. Just having that button and it automatically go through, then it's just preferable to me as far as a daily, everyday threading it. Now, over time, because the brother, that seems like more of an electrical function where you actually have a button and it pulls it through versus a pump, which is a mechanical function. For me, mechanical functions always last longer. So I would say that the BabyLock on that end will probably last longer. So if I pay over $1,000 and I can use it longer, then once again, that wins. But on a daily basis, I would prefer to thread the brother. However, the extra accessories of the brother do make it very tempting. Now, I also prefer the needle threader for the brother. It just works better because you don't have to hold that hand steady and thread it. Those are just a couple of features that I prefer one over the other. I am thinking about keeping the BabyLock Victory. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. And I do think that they both are really good sewing machines. Now, I will be perfectly transparent. A lot of the sewing machine dealers do not like the brother. For some reason, they just feel like brother does sewing machines, but they're not necessarily front runner in Sergers. So I'll put that information out there for you, so you can take that honest advice for what it is. So let me know in the comments, which one do you think won, and what sewing machines or Sergers or industrial machines or any machine do you want to see me try next? And go ahead and check out those videos, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.